Story time on how my mom forced me to be a lesbian. Okay, so boom, let's jump right into it. I'm currently 14 years old and being raised by my single mother. My dad wanted nothing to do with me and left my mom since she didn't want to terminate the pregnancy. Also, my mom found out that my dad was cheating on her and gave her an incurable STD. My mom was devastated and grew a hatred for my dad. My mom, of course, put him on child support and made sure she ruined his life. And it honestly worked. My mom gets checks every month as well as never lets my dad even speak to me, which I don't mind because he's kind of an a-hole and he clearly shows that he wished I was never born. Well, once my mom got revenge from my dad, she still really hated him. Like, she despised that man. And she hated my dad so much, she started to grow a hatred for men. My mom currently dates a woman who I love because I basically have two moms. But her hatred for men oozed into my dating life. Like and follow for part 2. Part 2 on how my mom forced me to be a lesbian. Okay, so boom, like I said, because of what my dad did, my mom's hatred for men oozed into my dating life. Watch part 1 to understand. So when I would tell my mom about my crushes on boys, she always seemed so disgusted. And my mom told me I need to try dating girls and not boys because boys are stupid. I even tried bringing a boy over and she yelled at me. But when I bring girls over, she literally doesn't care. I decided to listen to my mom and I experimented. And you know what? I actually fell in love with a girl. But after a year of dating, we had a nasty breakup. I moved on and I met a guy. I found out I don't care about genders and if I like you, I just like you. But I'm definitely bi and not just lesbian. But my mom wants me to erase men from my brain. My mom is hurt by my dad and I understand her, but I just want to be true to who I am. I can't go out with boys, talk to boys, text boys, be on the phone with boys, just nothing. She's literally forcing me to be with and only surrounded by girls. What do I do? Story time on how I caught my dad sleeping with my sister, his biological daughter. Okay, so boom, let's jump right into it. So my mom passed away when I was 10 years old. Me, my dad, and sister grieved the loss of our mom/wife and honored her as best as we could. But the loss of our mom hit our dad pretty rough. Due to the loss, for about 4 years, he continued to suffer from depression. But recently, my dad has been happy. The happiest I've seen him in a long time. And it kind of came out of nowhere, but of course, I was happy for my dad. I'm now 14 and my sister is 12 and everyone always says how much my little sister looks like my mom. Literally my mom's twin and mini-me. I thought nothing of it, but little did I know my sister looking like my mom would make my dad do some disgusting things. Like and follow for part 2. Part 2 on how I caught my dad sleeping with my sister, his biological daughter. Okay, so boom, like I said, after my mom passed away, my dad became depressed until a couple years later he just wasn't. Watch part 1 to understand. Now I'm 14 and my sister's 12 and everyone is saying my sister looks like my mom. Literally twins, she is the mini-me of my mom. And I guess my dad seen this too and he became obsessed with my little sister. He would dress my little sister up as my mom and even became way too affectionate with her. For some reason my little sister liked this attention, but like I knew it was wrong. But I didn't know how far my dad would take it. One day I was in my room and I heard moaning and it sounded like my sister and it was coming from my dad's room. So I go over there and yeah, it's exactly what y'all think. I called and told my auntie and now my dad's in jail. We're living with our auntie and my sister's in counseling. Be safe.
Story time about how my best friend waxed off my eyebrow in my sleep, so I cut her hair. So a little background information. I was 14 and in 8th grade, and my best friends and I were having a sleepover. And right before we had went to sleep, we were all talking about this one TikTok trend that was going around. It's like this trend where girls would go and put wax on their boyfriends while they were sleeping and then take it off. Well, I didn't think anything of it, so that night I went to sleep. I should have knew this was gonna happen because I'm always the butt of the joke whenever it comes to our friend group. Like, I'm always the one getting picked on. Like, there was this one thing that my friend Ashley saw online. It was like, if you put white nail polish on your teeth, it would make your teeth whiter. So who did they decide to try it out on? Yup, me. And yes, I could have said no, but these were my best friends. I didn't think that they would intentionally hurt me. Anyway, so like I said, I go to sleep and all of a sudden I wake up in the middle of the night to something very, very, very hot on my face. I open my eyes and all of my friends are standing above me with their flashlights on. Like for part 2. Part 2 about how my best friend waxed off my eyebrow while I was asleep, so I cut her hair. So like I said, went to sleep, didn't think anything was gonna happen, and then I wake up and all of them are standing above me with their flashlights on. And then I realized that Ashley has a stick in her hand. Once I realized that there was wax on the other end of the stick, I started screaming. So then Kelsey decides to cover my mouth. She's like, shh, it's not that bad. I promise. Like, don't worry. I get up real quick. I run to the bathroom and there's like this pink transparent wax on my eyebrow. It was about 3 a.m. and we're all sitting there trying to find ways to get this wax off of my fucking eyebrow. Well, then Amber goes, I'm tired of this, grabs it and rips it off my forehead. So I'm crying at this point. Like, I'm in 8th grade. I'm about to have my glow up and y'all gotta ruin it with taking my eyebrow off. So nobody went to sleep for the rest of the night because they thought that I was gonna do something to them. So I acted all cool. I was like, no, it's fine. I can just draw it on. When in reality, I was going to cut this bitch's hair. Like part 3. Part 3 about how my best friend waxed off my eyebrow in my sleep, so I cut her hair. So like I said, nobody went to sleep for the rest of the night. I acted like it was okay because I was plotting in my head that I was gonna cut one of their fucking ponytails off. So I go over to their house next week, and every single day that week they were telling me how good my drawn on eyebrow looked. It didn't actually look good, and none of my hairs were growing back. So around 12 o'clock, all of us are ready to go to bed. I'm laying down, pretending that I'm sleeping, and they think I'm sleeping, so they're over there talking shit about me on her bed, Ashley's bed. I wasn't sure which one's eyebrow I should rip off, because the one ripped off my eyebrow, but then the other one put the wax on my eyebrow. They were like, she's sleeping. I don't think she's gonna do anything. She doesn't even have the balls to do anything. So around 4 in the morning, everybody is dead asleep. I get up, and Ashley had her hair in a ponytail. So that was easy enough. I grabbed a pair of scissors out of my book bag, and I cut her hair off.